Hello and welcome back, and today I wasn't actually going to do a video back over at a Barfoot site because I think we've seen quite a lot from over here recently, but this has just blown my mind, I suppose. Like, I don't quite understand it, but first look at that. I mean, everything is not great here, but that is actually all. I just put the top box on, but everything else is full of honey, and that has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's now got 6 supers on, but we have got a real issue of wasps up here at the moment as well. This hive here isn't looking great. I have reduced the entrance and I've taken the supers off because they are quite small, and well, rightfully or wrongfully, I've pushed everything towards the door, so when a wasp does come through, my mind is thinking, well, maybe they'll fight it off. But look at the wasps that are stuck in there, in the vent, and they've actually died in there. There's another, that one's alive still. Just thought that was quite interesting. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, I wasn't actually planning on doing a video up here, but this has blown my mind. I've just found an unmarked queen in there, but I know that there is a queen in here anyway. Where are we going to put you? Let's put you here. Now, I've just seen the queen because she is marked and clipped as a blue queen. I'm pretty sure she's on this frame here. Ah, there she is. There. That is our marked queen. Now, let's pop that back there. This frame has, and I swear on my life, has come from that hive. But in here, we've got an unmarked queen. If I just... There she is. Right there. Living alongside our marked queen. How weird is that? And there's absolutely no sign that they're going to leave. And it's a decent sized colony as well. But that's definitely a mated queen. Just pop that back on her so she doesn't disappear. But how weird is that? And it's not like if they were going to supersede, they're waiting for good weather. We've had good weather for the past 2 weeks now. So my mind is a little bit blown. I don't quite know what's going on. And we never actually saw any queen cells in there. We have been checking these ones every single week, and not once have we seen a queen cell. Admittedly, we might have missed one, but there's no reminiscence of a queen cell either. I just thought that was so weird. We'll get back to the main part of the video, which will be over at our new nuke yard, because I need to release the queens over there and just, you know, check they're all okay. But yeah, I just happened to have the camera on with me and I thought, wow, interesting. I think I've just been stung on my thumb. Suddenly got me really sore. And we are back at the Pick Your Own site, which is where we got our nuke yard now. So this is the first inspections actually that we've ever done over here. So it's makes a very nice change to come to a new site, really, because over the past couple of years now we've just been going to and from the same sites. Yeah, it's a really nice change up to open up another site, and I think it should go pretty well up here, to be fair. It's nice and quiet. I was really, to be fair, I was a little bit concerned about the general public coming a bit too close to the hives, but I can sit, like, they're open today and there's like no one, and the bees aren't actually going too far towards the tunnels, or not at height level anyway, which is something else that I was a little bit concerned about. But just on first look, they are, one's not looking too busy, but everything else is. And I did bring the queen that I found, so it's kind of a bit of a bonus queen. I know there is one, I think there's at least one that is queenless here, so it'll be quite nice just to pop her in. But yeah, I just found it really weird how there's a queen, an unmarked queen, in one of our hives with a queen anyway. And like I said, the weather for the past couple of weeks has been perfect. So I'm not too sure if they were superseding why the old queen didn't go, or they didn't kill the old queen, or I don't know. But there were two queens in there, and that's just what they've got. Now you can see this is quite a small split, but they're still very interested in that queen. Just pop the tab on this one. That's the one that we put in last week. Queen's still alive. I don't know, is that what you call queen banking? I'm not too sure. I know you can, there is something called queen banking, but I don't really know what it's all about. But I still did find some emergency cells. So even though I know the queen, like, the quick thing to do is just to pop the tab on that, but if they've raised emergency cells, then they're not going to accept her. They just can't kill her in that cage. And because I know, aha, see, look, I always give them a shake, but look at that, emergency cell. And to be honest, if I'm not sure if something's an emergency cell or like just a really large drone cell, I'm just going to take it down. It's not worth the risk. But they are very interested in this queen. She's still alive. Yes, she is. So we put them in last Sunday. See, still some more there. And they were kind of last minute splits because there was a deal on the queens. So we just thought, well, we make queens up for every, or we'll make a split up for every spare nuke box we've got, because like we should really be at the end of swarming now. I'm hoping. Wow, they've crammed that in. That is one full, that is a lot of honey for not a lot of bees. That is ridiculous. And they've done another frame as well. Tell you what, because this, bloody hell, look at that. That's all honey. This was the original frame that we gave for stores. Everything else they've done in the past, that's 2 whole frames. And it's literally only just one, probably 2.5 frames of bees. I quite like these queen cages because there's only one tab that you have to break, which is just there. Just makes it quite easy. Yeah, I can definitely see that queen, and she is definitely still there and alive. Go. So far, that is 3 out of 4. That is all good. Maddie's just here. Now I think this one is the queenless hive, because I can't see any queen cage. I think there's actually more than one colony, but this one's bringing in a fair bit of honey as well, to be fair. Yeah, one of the splits that we've done, I could not for the life of me find the queen. and they were both going into nukes anyway because it was a double split. So one of them might have a queen that shouldn't do. Nice slab of brood though. Oh! And there are eggs in here as well. I can just see some, you're not going to see it, but there are eggs in this top corner. Right. That makes things a little bit more interesting. That might mean that one's queenless next to me then. Right, and so this colony here is now hopelessly queenless. I have got said queen, our bonus queen. I was just going to let the ones that are queenless raise their own queens here, to be honest, but since we got the bonus queen, all I've done is stuffed it with beeswax. So I'm hoping, well, either way, I know that she'll survive a week in there anyway. But I'll just pop her in, like so. And that is where she'll stay. So I've still got another 3 to check. That one there is queenless, so I've left one queen cell up there, but they were very strong, so I thought I could kind of risk letting them make their own queen, whereas this colony here is a little bit weaker. And I don't know where the sun's gone, but it's gone a little bit overcast now. So I shall carry on. They've been dry like this as a frame of foundation just the start of the week actually, and they have done one side. Again, very yellow. It doesn't quite pick it up on the camera, but it is like super yellow. I stand corrected. There is a queen, which means one of our honey production hives is queenless. Very good. Oh, I just love it when a plan comes together, don't you? I mean, I can't even say it wasn't me, because I'm pretty sure I did split most of these nukes, so I made a mistake again. Oh well, that's why they look so strong, is because there is a laying queen in here. Ah, love it when a plan comes together. And that is the end of our very first inspection. That's our very first nuke yard. I'm hoping that we can open up another nuke yard so we can kind of switch between the two, because at the moment any nuke that's here can only go to the farm, and then if we want, or to my farm, and if we wanted it to go to, like Berries on Tap or Barfoot's, I think it's a little bit too close. I think we're probably 2.5 miles away at a push, and I'm not too sure about if the bees will come back here. That's the only concern. So the idea would be to have another nuke yard a bit further away from our other site, so we can just kind of interchange, which would be quite handy. But they're all looking good. There's a couple of weaker ones than what I expect, but they've either got means to make a new queen now, so they have either got one queen cell left, or I've popped the tab on the queen cage, which is good. And we shall come back next week to see if, or next week, do I get Dad to come back down it? I think I'll leave it. We'll probably come back in 2 weeks to this site when I'm back, and we'll find out if those queen cells have taken, which I'm hoping they have. But that will be the end of today's video. It's probably a little bit of a short one, but I thought it would be a nice little switch up, somewhere a little bit different. You can see again the pumpkins are coming through quite nicely now. I don't know where the sun's gone, but it's quite nice because it has cooled down. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of honey coming in here, more honey than what I expected, so I might have to make a decision whether or not to keep this as a nuke site or put it as one of our production sites, but we shall cross that bridge when we get there. But that is all for now. I've just got my home apiary to do. I mean, I started at 6 o'clock this morning, believe it or not, and it is 11:45, so that is 6 hours just doing these sites up this way. I think it was the right decision to leave, because the more we expand, the longer it's going to take. But I'm enjoying it because I'm not rushed, and it's really nice, and I can just slow down and actually just watch the bees work, which is quite nice. And now I think I'm actually going to have some lunch over here, because I'm just got to drop the honey off. And yeah, I'm hoping, I was told I might get some lunch out of it, which would be handy. Good, so we shall see you next week. I think I've got a video uploaded for when I'm away, I don't know. And we'll catch a bit later on. I might, if my honey's decrystallized, I might do a little bit at the end of this, just jarring up. We don't see too much of that, and how we do it is probably very backwards and not very efficient, but we're hoping to change that soon. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, if you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and catch you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.